Everybody. We're getting people rolling into the room here. Get you guys, get your audio going. I'm going to go ahead and mute all just so we don't have too much background noise. And awesome. Well, we're going to get started here. My name is Craig, and I am the host or the moderator for today's presentation. And the title of the topic is your on ramp to wellness coaching. And so we're going to be sharing about the four components of our program and how they all work together to make such a difference in people's, life. Actually, not just their health, but their whole life. And so, as we get started here, I want to have you guys take just a little minute and evaluate, give yourself a little self-evaluation. We call this the trilogy of optimal health. And so you think about a healthy body, you think about a healthy mind, you think about healthy finances. And so those three areas are really what's necessary for um, what Optavia says. If you have these three areas at an 8 or better, you have an exceptional life. And so think about this on a scale of 1 to 10. Think about where your healthy body is. Healthy weight, eating healthy, sleeping healthy, physical activity, relaxation, and both a safe and healthy environment at work and at home. So give yourself a little number there and think about where you are on the healthy body. Then we're going to move over to healthy finances, and finances are, the what pays for our lives. Everything costs a little bit of money, and if you think about having healthy finances, you have freedom to do the things that you want to do. Abundance is thinking about having more than you need, so having some extra, managing your money well, contributing to your community, having a savings for the future. And then one I love is resources to create memories and experiences. So think about where you are in with those categories and where you'd rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. And then the last category here, we have healthy mind. And so this is really thinking about, your spiritual time, your community involvement, your hobbies and fun, the fulfillment you have in your world, in your life, how engaged you are at the work you do, and then how strong are your relationships. And so if you rate really high in all those, then you probably have a pretty high number in that area. I want you guys to write down those three numbers there, and if you want, you could do body finances mind, and just put your three numbers in the chat if you want to. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And so tonight's presentation, as we get into it, is really focusing on the stars of the program, and that is what we call the four components. We have, every human body requires food. And so if we are able to eat things that allow our bodies to thrive, that makes a big difference. And so we call that those fuelings, right? And then the second component is the learning component. How do we learn what we need to know so that we can have the life we desire? The community is basically the people that are around you, the people you're commonly unified with. And having a healthy community is so vital. And the last one that Optavia has developed and put together is having someone to go on the journey with you. And so these four components all work together. And kind of another way of thinking about this would be if you have those four components in the middle, you might be someone who has a need for health. You want to, you have more stress. Your body's not working the way you want it to work. Maybe your community is not very good. So what you can do is you can integrate these four components into your life as a consumer. And you're going to plug those in and let those become part of you, and they're going to change the way you live. And you might think, well, um, what if I wanted to be part of helping other people? Well, all of our coaches go through the same program and they learn and integrate those four components, but then they do one thing more is they go expose people to those. They share the success that they've had and show people how they can have similar success. And so at the core of our whole program are these four components. And then the coach has a role and then the client has a role. And so, first off, here, I want to bring on our first guest, and Carrie's going to talk to us a little bit about her own personal transformation, but she's also going to share with us a little bit about how the fuelings have made a difference in her journey. So, welcome, Carrie.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm Carrie, and these pictures mean quite a bit to me. The one on the left is, I think, a milestone picture. It's from the summer of 2014, and I was at a wedding for a good college friend, and a group of us got together to take a picture during the reception. And when I looked through them later, it's like, oh man, mama let herself go. I did not like what I saw or how I felt. And a little bit more into where I was at in that season. I had four kids who were 7 and younger, and I was working a couple days a week doing dental hygiene, and we just led a really full life, lots going on. And over prior years, my mom and I had done multiple plans, programs, diets, workout routines, you name it. We tried all sorts of things. And I had seen her, she was working with Dawn, who's also on this call, and she was shrinking and feeling pretty amazing. And she was watching me get pretty frustrated. And I was feeling pretty hopeless also, because everything I had done before was not working. And she gave me lots of gentle nudges to reach out to Dawn. And I finally did. It was around the holidays in 2014. And it was pretty neat to connect with Dawn and have my frustrations heard. And she had some pretty great ideas. And one of them was the nutrition plan. And it sounded too good to be true, super simple. And I was floored when she thought that I could lose 30 pounds in 3 months. That didn't seem possible. But I got off the phone, thought it was a good idea to move forward, and started January 2015. And the nutrition plan was so awesome. So I was eating 6 times a day, which I love to eat. And 5 of the times that I ate, I didn't have to think about. So being a busy mom, it was magical to eat the first fueling within an hour waking up and knowing that I'm getting vitamins and minerals, protein, carbs, probiotics every single time I was eating. And I would set my timer for 2.5 to 3 hours and eat another one. So I did that 5 times a day. And then I also learned a ton about preparing healthy meals because I was responsible for just one meal a day. And so my family got a chance to try some new ways of cooking, and my kids actually love the fuelings too. But, around day 4 or 5, I was having energy that I had not had in years. And just the mental clarity that came with it, I felt more present with my kids. And I felt hope. Like I was sure that I finally found something that would get me where I wanted to go. And sure enough, like Dawn said, 3 months later, I was down my 30 pounds and a little bit nervous about what to do next because the weight loss phase was so easy, but I knew I couldn't do that forever. And I leaned in with Dawn and she plugged me into a new plan, and still the same structure and support. And I have been able to maintain that for almost 9 years, but I still get to use the fuelings. And it's simple nutrition. They are really convenient. They taste good. And I can just plant them throughout my day really easily. And fun fact, my mom is also at her weight that her healthy weight that she was going for, and that's been 10 years. And I never saw that in my whole life. And yeah, I would say that the nutrition has been the biggest game changer for getting to a healthy weight, staying at a healthy weight, and then, paying that forward as people start to notice has been another key factor in keeping me just focused on my health.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks
Wow.
for a chance to share.
Yeah, thank you, Carrie. And it's interesting as we're talking about that because, maybe you got lucky, but your mom got lucky too, and eventually you realize that maybe there's more than just luck here, that maybe there's a place and a process where everybody has a chance to win. And so thank you, Carrie, for sharing your
Yeah.
story with us
Yeah.
tonight. It's really inspiring. And next up, we've got Kelly, and Kelly's going to share us a little bit about his transformation story and one of our second component, which is the habits of health or the learning phase. So welcome, Kelly.
Yeah, well, thank you, Craig, and thanks for letting me share and having me on tonight. And well, uh, the picture on the left was me back in 2012, um, and I thought I was halfway fit, as a PE teacher. We were both Don and I were teaching school at the time, and honestly, I was sucking in my gut in this picture because my pants were really tight and just didn't feel comfortable. I was in about 36-inch waist in this picture, and the man boobs and the love handles on my sides, and I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't confident being a physical education teacher. So but one day I said we were going to go to this conference in Coeur d'Alene. I met my health coach, and who happens to be Craig, in 2012. And I kind of said no for the first 4 months. I thought I could do this on my own, being a teacher. So I worked at it, and I exercised. My form of trying to lose weight, I exercised in the morning before school about an hour and a half, elliptical trainer, treadmill, whatever it was, exercise. Then after school, I would try to exercise, and I never lost more than 4 or 5 pounds. And we tried all the diets. Bill and I tried isogenics, the Weight Watchers, Starve Ourselves, the keto, and nothing seemed to work. So around February, Craig called me and said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm really not. I'm staying the same, and I'm kind of getting sick and tired." So I come home and I tell Dawn, "Hey, I think I'm going to give this a try." And so I jumped in. Dawn wasn't really 100% behind me at first, but he jumped in. We both jumped in. I lost 26 pounds in 7.5 weeks, and actually, when I lost the weight, you could see some muscle definition in that picture down below as the body fat, as we burn the body fat off. So I still love the exercise now, but I do it for entertainment and recreation and all the other benefits of exercise, and especially pickleball. And now I'm finding myself playing pickleball with 20 and 30-year-olds. So it's been really fun. And yeah, and so the thing I really love most is the life book. And the life book, when I coach my clients who really get into the life book, I mean, all four components are super important. Each one is like 25%. But the life book, the 26 elements in the life book are huge. Like one of some of my favorite elements is element 4, building a healthy mindset, because if we don't change our mindset, we're just doing a diet. We're doing Weight Watchers or whatever it is. Another element I love, because I was really addicted to Rosar's cookies and things like that, is dealing with addictive food. And oh my goodness, that was a game changer for me. And now I'm moving into element 25 and 26, living a long, healthy life, and the ultra health, moving into ultra health at age 65. We've got some strong reasons why we want to live a healthy life. Now we have 2 grandkiddos. So, yeah, the habits of health system has been key for me to keep the weight off for almost 11 years in February, 10 years and about 8 months now. So, hey, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on tonight and sharing my story. Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. What a great story. And it's so fun to have coached you all these years and seeing you really kind of become more balanced in who you are and how you're living. Next up, we've got Dawn, and so Dawn and Kelly are married, and so I had the privilege of working with both of them. And Dawn's going to share a little bit about her personal journey and a little bit about how the Optavia community has made a difference in her transformation. So welcome, Dawn.
Hey, Craig. Yeah, it's so great to be here tonight. And I'm really excited to share a little bit about my story. So when I look at those two pictures, the first picture on the left really takes me back. I took that picture the day before we started plan because my coach told me to. I really did not want to take that picture because I did not like the way I looked. I was frustrated. To be honest, I was kind of depressed. I was busy but had no energy. My sleep was terrible. My joints were achy. I just felt old. And I thought, you know, for 51, I shouldn't be feeling this old. But that's kind of where I started. And the second picture was taken actually just a couple weeks ago. And so anyway, so I just, you know, like Kelly, we tried a ton of things to get our health on track. I worked with personal trainers. I worked with a nutritionist. Like Kelly said, we tried a ton of different diets. I was kind of your classic yo-yo diet person, and nothing seemed to work. What was happening to me is that every year I was gaining a little more weight and a little more weight and a little more weight. And before I knew it, I had gotten to a point where I weighed as much as I did when I was 9 months pregnant, ready to deliver my son, who's now 35 years old. And so that was really a hard pill to swallow. So like Kelly said, he met Craig and he came home all excited about this working with a coach. And I said, no, there is no way I need some guy in my life to tell me how to lose weight. I felt like I had done so many different plans that I should know what to do. But the honest truth was I didn't. So when Kelly decided he was going to start, I thought, you know what, he's not going to leave me behind. On the slim chance that this is actually going to work, I don't want to miss out and not try one more thing. So very reluctantly, we tried one last thing, and I was amazed. After a couple of weeks, I was really feeling so different. My energy was coming up. The scale was going down. The aches and pains were starting to go away in my joints. And I was so surprised with how much better I was feeling in such a short amount of time. And like Carrie said, for the first time in my life, I really felt like I had some hope. Like this was really something that was going to work for me. So my community started pretty small. It started with my husband, Kelly, who was doing plan with me, and Craig, who was my coach. And, you know, and that's kind of where it was at. But it was the first time I'd really had a community in my, any kind of a health journey I tried before, because to be honest, I had mostly dieted in the dark. I didn't want people to know that I was trying something again, because it was embarrassing when it didn't work. It was, you know, I felt a lot of shame over that. And so to have the support was huge, you know, and then my community kind of grew by plugging into some of the virtual community options that we offer. And so I started with plugging into a Facebook group with other people who are losing and getting healthy with me. And that felt so great to feel like I wasn't alone. And then I started listening to our Monday night calls, and those were so awesome as well. I loved hearing other coaches share their stories. It gave me so much hope, and hearing their tips and hearing about their success really made me feel like I can do this too. And then a couple months down the road, I had lost 20 pounds. And, you know, when you're getting healthy, you just can't hide it forever. And so what happened was we had friends and family and coworkers who were asking, what are we doing? And at that point, I just thought, I can't keep this to myself. I know how frustrated they are. I know that were struggling very much like I was. And so that's when I decided to go ahead and get trained and start coaching. And that's when my community really grew. So now I had friends that I was coaching. And so they were looking to me to be the example and to, help them on their journeys. And then I also met a whole bunch of wonderful people who were in my coach family. And that was so awesome because that gave me another whole layer of people who were cheering me on and encouraging me. And so it seemed like I had kind of created this healthy bubble where I was surrounded by so many positive people who were wanting to be healthy along with me. And so that community piece has made such a huge difference. So I went on to lose 40 pounds in 5 months, took myself back to my college weight, which I never in a million years thought I would see in my 50s. And, like Kelly shared, the really exciting part for us is now, we've celebrated more than 10 years of being at our healthy weight. And I know for me, having that community support and having that accountability that comes with being an example for others and partnering with others in their health goals has made all the difference for me. And so thanks for letting me share, Craig.
Yeah, it's so great watching both of you guys and week after week and month after month and year after year to just see you guys growing and the weight loss happened so long ago, and there's so much that you continue to grow in and learn to give yourself these life upgrades. And that's one of the things I love about this program is it's so much more than that eating plan. And so next up, we actually have Cassie, and Cassie's going to talk, share about her own transformation story, and then how being a coach and having a coach has made a difference for her. So welcome, Cassie.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks for having me here tonight. The picture on the left is how I was basically my whole life. I've always been overweight, classified as obese. This particular picture, even though there's a smile on my face, I was depressed, I was embarrassed, I was ashamed of my body, and honestly ashamed of my mental state as well. The picture on the right is me about a month ago. The only professional photos I've ever had taken because I never wanted to pay to have my picture taken. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm confident, and I feel like I'm ready for anything. Growing up, our house was kind of the place to be. There's just kids in and out, and we had lots of great snacks and soda, chips, little Debbie's, all the things. I developed some not so great habits, starting back then. And by the time I hit my 20s, I was already packing on a lot of extra weight. And then I went on to have children, and the pounds just kept packing on. In my early 30s, I decided it was time to do something about my weight, and I tried every single diet that I came across, all of them. Keto, just eating cabbage soup for a week, beach diet, diet pills, fasting. I ate eggs for 1 week straight, just eggs to try and lose weight. I tried all the things and nothing really worked. My best success doing this on my own was when I was doing keto, and that was over the course of 5 years, and I lost 40 pounds. So if you do that math, that is 8 pounds a year. That's not very quick weight loss. I knew that wasn't the progress I wanted. That was way too slow for me. And had I continued on that path, it would have taken me 15 years to get to a healthy weight. And we don't have time for that. So with my children growing and having a voice of their own and being able to decide what snacks and foods that they wanted to eat, I saw not so great habits in them as well. And I knew that something needed to change, and it needed to start with me. So I needed to learn and then unteach my children these habits that I instilled in them. So cue Optavia. I didn't know that this program even existed, even with all of the diets that I had tried over the years. I never came across this. my coworker started it, and I saw significant weight loss in her in just a few weeks. Just her first couple of weeks, she had lost like 15 pounds or something. It was really remarkable. So I decided that I needed to also try to do something like this. Um, so I went to work right away because I remember a lady that I thought was a health coach, and I got on Facebook and I scoured my friends list and I found her page and I got on her page and I was trying to figure out what it was she was doing, and then I figured it out. She was a health coach with Optavia, and I looked for her because I knew she was a health coach, but also not just because uh, of what she did, but it's because somebody that I just knew that I would be comfortable with, um, and that would meet me where I was at on my journey. So for me, having a health coach was the ticket. I mean, I tried everything on my own. I was able to, restrict my diet. I went to the gym like 5 days a week. I did all the things, but I was doing it on my own. And so having a health coach was what I needed in order to, have somebody to cheer me on or help me get over perceived obstacles that I had. So she was and still is here for me. She celebrates my wins with me as I'm still learning new healthy habits. She leads me in the right direction. She gives me ideas. She challenges me. She guides me through my life book, gets me involved in the community. Um, and without her, I wouldn't have known these things even really existed. With Optavia, I lost 30 in just 3 months. So that's 10 pounds a month, which is a far cry from 8 pounds a year for 5 years. I decided to go through with the training program to become a coach myself because of the success that I had. And I know just in my small group of friends, people that had really struggled with weight loss, and I wanted to share with the world what I had found and my successes. So now I get to coach people that are stuck in the same place I was a year ago, people that are frustrated and discouraged and think that losing weight for them is impossible because they've tried everything else. Um, I get to help them. It's so rewarding to do that. Some people have just settled on how they are and what they weigh and how their mind is and their finances. They've just settled because they don't know what's possible. So I get to help them find their path to a healthy body and a healthy mind. And I get to show them that it's possible to achieve their goals. While having a health coach is what did it for me. All four of these components, when you work them together, um, they have proven to be successful, and what a success that they have been for thousands and thousands of people that got healthy with this program.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cassie, for your story. And thank you all for your attention. We got a few more minutes here. I'm going to just kind of close things up and tell you kind of what are the next steps. And so when you think about this, with the next steps, we've got the whole program is centered around these four components. And so you might be thinking to yourself, well, maybe you're already working with a coach. You're working with one of our coaches that's presenting tonight, and you may think, well, what would it look like if I could work with them and we could help some people that I care about? And so we've got a whole training course. We actually, work with you lockstep. So it's on the job training. We actually do the coaching alongside you while you're learning. And so it's an apprentice style training program. Or you may be somebody that's here that says that I'm not using all four components. I'm just using the fuelings and I might be struggling. Or maybe you're not even a client yet. Maybe you're thinking about not only would I like to incorporate the successes and this type of system into my own life, but I want to help other people do that as well. And so take a minute here and just kind of think about that number that you had at the beginning, where you were at on a scale of 1 to 10. And you might be asking yourself, maybe you're seeing this kind of as a diet because people have lost weight. And how could a quote unquote diet plan make a difference in all three of these areas? And so it's either that maybe it's not a diet plan, maybe it really is a healthy living process that teaches you the missing components, um, so that you can plug those in and your life starts to become more rounded, more balanced, and you have more smiling days, more days when you're happy with where you are. And so I want to stop for a minute here and just do a little bit of a group participation because I'd like to get some feedback. And my main question I'll ask is which one of these stories kind of gripped you or stood out to you? And what comments, what kind of made the most sense? And Valerie, I don't know why, but I'd love to hear from you first. Tell us a little bit about your impressions. Which one of these components still stands out to you as valuable?
Well, hello, everybody. Dawn and Kelly and Dawn invited me, and it was just, I've heard some of Kelly's or Dawn's story, but it was good to hear Kelly's story. And I'm just gathering information,
Oh, good, good.
basically. So,
Did one of the
yeah.
components stick out to you like, that's interesting? I've never heard of something like that before.
No, I mean the balance of mind, body, spirit. If it's I'm kind of like Carrie, yeah, and Cassie. I mean, yeah, I've tried them all, and
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's like okay, it's just getting enough information, just
yep,
getting that to that commitment stage.
yeah. Well, thank you,
Yeah,
Valerie. And
thank you, thank
you're
you, John.
all you have is success awaiting you. And Dawn and Kelly are fantastic people. So
Yeah,
thank you for sharing with us tonight and for showing up and encouraging Dawn and
yeah,
Kelly. Yeah,
yeah.
appreciate it. Let's see. How about Isabel? Isabel Link, why don't you come off of mute and share a few things, few highlights, and what made the most sense to you guys? There you go.
It's Greg.
Yeah.
It's Isabel's Zoom.
Oh, Isabel Zoom. Awesome. Your name's Greg?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Greg. So, yeah, what was your favorite part about what you heard tonight?
The favorite part is to group all four together because I think myself, I do this, I have been doing it lately as just strictly diet.
Yeah.
And I can see now that I need to do more of the elements and
Yeah.
share more on my group, like on Facebook and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
I know it works.
Well,
And
and the thing about it is you're getting whatever results you're getting from maybe using just part of the tools. And when you dig into the rest of the toolbox and bring out the rest of the tools, it's only getting better. So whatever success you've been having, just wait, there's more.
right.
Yeah.
And I see that.
Yeah. That's great. Are you local here in the Northwest or where do you live at, Greg?
Rathdrum, big city of
Rathdrum.
Rathdrum.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you for joining us tonight and thank you for sharing. And
Okay.
congratulations on your progress so far. How about you, CJ? Who invited you and what was your favorite part?
Yeah, I was invited by Kelly. He's been my coach for the last 6 months
Oh,
doing Optavia, and it's cool. He's shared his story with me before, but to hear it again and hear a piece of it that was kind of cool is just that initially he was more reluctant to it, and then I also got to hear Dawn's story fully from her, and I've not heard that before, so that was really cool. And what the elements that you talk about, the four elements of the program, the coaching has been and I guess the accountability has been a big part of it. I've just been undisciplined in my eating for the last few years, and the fuelings help a lot in this program, and it's been cool to have the accountability, so to speak, more be more disciplined about it. So
yeah.
I got to talk to Kelly once a week, and I got to make sure that he's doing a really nice job of encouraging me and just helping me as I walk through this whole thing.
Yeah, I think you might have the most encouraging person on the planet as your coach. So
Definitely.
he's fantastic. Awesome. Patrice, how about you? We'll hear from you tonight. What stands out to you?
Well, Cassie is my daughter, and I went into I wanted to start this program when she suggested it a couple of months ago. Her sister and I wanted to try it after we'd seen her success, and when we all three got together in Seattle one time, we could see that three of us were trying it and one of us was succeeding. And that wasn't me or my other daughter, it was Cassie. And what part I really liked about this, learning what you guys had to share, was the four elements that you mentioned, to get into all of those things, how much more rewarding it would be for you to get into all of those aspects, when I didn't really know that there's all that about it. Because like I said, when I first got into it, I was really reluctant about wanting somebody to tell me what to do and to try to follow me and make me accountable. Basically, I don't like to be accountable to anybody but myself. And but it's very, very, very encouraging to see how happy everyone is, how much they realize that things can change. And like I have foods that I'm addicted to, and I'm so scared to death to try to put them out of my life, to get healthy. But I really want to be healthy, and more important, I want to feel that I'm healthy. More important is being healthy, but to feel it is what I want to feel. And to see how Cassie has transformed, is amazing, because as her mother, I've been there through all the steps of the dieting.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
And I was very it really got to me to hear about the eating habits that she had developed as a child, because that was true. Everybody came to my house and we always had food and snacks, and so I feel kind of responsible for that, and I want to be a better encouragement for my grandchildren as well, and not always say, oh, grandma's here, you do this. I want them to learn that it's healthy to be that way as well. I'm very, very encouraged.
Man, Patrice, thank you so much for sharing all that. There is absolutely hope for you. If you're still breathing, still alive, there's hope for you, and you're surrounded with a great group of people, and Cassie's got an army of people backing her, and we're going to be on your team too. So thank you. Thank you for giving birth to her. She's a wonderful person.
Well, thank you, Craig.
Yeah. Yep. We got one more. Christine, let's give us a little feedback on what was your favorite part.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Carrie's my coach, and she's the best.
She is pretty good.
So she's always been very encouraging and helpful along the way. I've always known the four aspects from the very beginning. She's really coached me good on that. It's, do I embrace it? Have I embraced it? Will I embrace it? That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
She helped me lose 40 pounds in 4 months. So
you're another one of those lucky people.
Yeah. It was life changing. My whole life has been an on and off diet. So she's helping me figure out, I want a little bit more, but I'm kind of wanting to stabilize through the holidays.
Yeah.
And I've been able to do that for the last month really well. So I feel good about that. But I think of those four elements, I have not embraced the community just because I totally can relate. I believe it was Cassie's story too, and then the husband and wife team.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want anybody to know this is my own business,
right?
Kind of thing. So those are hang-ups that I have, but doesn't mean that they're not changeable or workable. So,
well, let me give you a little bit of feedback right now, Chris. You came tonight. You had your video off for a while, and then you turned it on, and I noticed that, and I went, I don't know who she is, but I'm going to call on her. And you just talked and looked.
I was making dinner.
Well,
I was
perfect.
making dinner.
Yeah. But you came on and you spoke with us. And so this is what this community is like. We are all rooting for each other and we're all working on our own health, right? And so that's what I think is the, out of all four components, they're all essential, but the community is the game changer. When you get around other people that are battling for their health and are going to battle alongside you, that makes a difference. If you don't exchange out or build a new healthy community and you're trying to make these kinds of changes, it's not going to happen. You can lose some weight temporarily, but long term, you got no
Mhm.
chance. And so that's why I love what we are doing here tonight. And I love what Optavia has developed, that we really do have a place where we can grow together and we can learn and we can fail and we can, work hard and we have accountability and we have cheerleaders, all of it. So anyway, guys, well, we're gonna wrap it up tonight. But the last thing here is if you're coming on and you're just a guest, maybe you don't know really about um, more details, you can actually take your phone. This is kind of a magic thing. I think it came from Star Trek, but you can take your phone and point it at one of these little fancy squares, and it'll take you to a health assessment. And it's basically just a little background information, but it'll also let whoever's QR code you pointed at, it'll let them know a little bit about you, and then they're going to follow up with you. And we've got some great specials going through the holidays. So it's a wonderful time not to wait, but to actually engage now. And I'll give you a little stat. I've been coaching for 14 years and I lost 50 pounds all those years ago as well. And one of the things that I've seen is I've had a lot of clients that come on November and December, and they are the strongest people. They have the most resilience because they didn't wait until January and or some other month. And so if you're thinking about this or you know somebody that you're going to be around in the holidays, encourage them not to wait. You still go through the holidays, but you'll go through it with some support and some community and maybe some new tools. And this holiday could be the beginning of something wonderful. So thank you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And thank you for your participation tonight in this amazing call. Have a good night, everybody.